Hey guys, it's me. How about maybe? During my last stream, me and my mod Steve got into a conversation about which killer power would be the best to have in real life, and this interested me, so I'm going to make a video about it. First, some rules. I'll be going over each killer power base kit, no add-ons included. Also, I will be translating each killer power into the real world as literally from the game as I can. Also, no matter what power you were to have, you'd still be human. You won't be a ghoul with Kaneki's power or become a ghost with spirits. These powers are ranked out of 5, and how well you can use them in everyday life. For terror radius-based powers, we'll just say as far as people can hear you breathing and your footsteps. With all that said, let's get started. Trapper. This one kind of sucks. I guess if you live in the woods, maybe this one can be good, but it's not a good power to have for everyday life. The part of this power that is best for everyday life is the haste, but moving a bit faster after setting a bear trap that you or someone else might step in isn't worth it. 1 out of 5. Wraith. Invisibility is nice, and so is extra speed. You could sneak into places or pretend you aren't around if you really just want to be left alone. I'm ignoring all the stealing and creepy stuff you could do with this. Overall, though, this one doesn't seem to be the best. It's definitely above average, but not the best. 3 out of 5. Hillbilly. You can move really fast, but you will definitely get the cops called on you for screaming and running around with a chainsaw like a lunatic. You'll also gravely injure people if you accidentally run into someone. Maybe the people who live around you would get used to it, but you'll get a lot of noise complaints before that happens, and probably arrested. 1 out of 5. Maybe if you have a big backyard like a rich person. Nurse. This hurts to use. The nurse is in pain when she uses her power, like canonically. You can use teleports, but only really through 1 or 2 walls at most. It's not worth it, not even for the slight telekinesis, which debatably isn't even technically a part of her power in game, so wouldn't even translate over to real life. 1 out of 5. Myers. Do I need to explain? 1 out of 5. Hag. Teleportation that requires other people. They have to trigger your traps in order for you to teleport to them. I guess this could kind of be like a real-life version of an Ender Pearl stasis chamber in Minecraft, but you got to be within a certain distance of your trap. You'd be surprised how little I think it's 48 meters actually is in real life. Yeah, not too fantastic, but you can protect snacks in the kitchen late at night. So there's that. 1 out of 5. Doctor, are you a psychopath? Are you part of the CIA? Are you just plain evil? Then this will work great for you. 1 out of 5. Huntress. You need a locker, but this would be good for self-defense, assuming you don't live in America. Just put a locker in your room, and if you have to defend your home, you have 7 hatchets to throw at intruders, and you can get as many as you need from any locker. Not the best for everyday life, though, so 2 out of 5. Bubba. This is one you can kind of have in real life, but why would you take Bubba's power? You're limited in the way you can now defend yourself or use a chainsaw when you could just achieve the results Bubba gets in Dead by Daylight easier by running forward with a chainsaw. Sure, you might need to get a little stronger, but you can do a workout. 0 out of 5. Outclassed by actual skills you can learn in real life. Embarrassing. The Nightmare. Okay, so I think this one is by far the best power to have. You can teleport to any generator anywhere in the world. We're going to say any generator anywhere in the world. That opens up a lot of vacation spots for you. Not only that, but people around you will fall asleep but still be able to interact with the world. So pilots could be asleep at their wheel of their plane but still keep a flight going, and people could be working on schoolwork while asleep. You may think, why would we want this? Well, this effectively eliminates the need for sleep for everybody else on Earth. Human productivity will go through the roof. We can finally get rid of 1/3 of our life that we lose to sleep and get that back. Not get rid of it. We can get it back finally. This power would be so good for the betterment of humanity. And hey, maybe you don't need to sleep with this power. I mean, Freddy doesn't sleep in the trials in the game. I guess no character really lays down and takes a nap, but you get what I mean. It'd be really nice. You have some defense options as well. Anywhere you could fit a pallet in your home, put a dream pallet, and bam, intruders have some nice Home Alone traps for you to spring on them. Not only that, but you have a dream snare for self-defense too. Genuinely, I think this is one of the best powers. And if people want to stop looking at the dream world, they can mess up something, whatever the real life equivalent of missing a skill check is, or they could just use some of the alarm clocks. Yeah, they'll only be awake for about 2 minutes at most, basically, but hey, that should be enough time to take in the beauty of the world. Seriously, I think this is going to be one of the best powers. Definitely a 5 out of 5. Pig. Still a part of the CIA? 1 out of 5. Clown. Purple is good for self-defense, and yellow is good for everyday movement around the house and just walks in general. And you can help people around you. 4 out of 5. Spirit. Barely better than running. 1 out of 5. Legion. You probably get this one in real life if you were good enough with knives and precise enough and good enough at running. But why would you want this? Just go for a daily run if you want to move fast. Don't move to London. 1 out of 5. Plague. No. 0 out of 5. Ghostface. Good if you were Agent 47, but you aren't. 1 out of 5. When it comes to Demogorgon, I definitely think this is one of the better ones, but there are a few things that caused me to not give it a 5 out of 5. For one, you can't replace portals, so unless somebody cleanses your portal, which isn't always going to happen, if you put them somewhere on the other side of the earth, you know, you might not want that portal in Sri Lanka still, but you have it. And if you have a portal somewhere you really want to go back to, like the beach or something, some random snot-nosed brat could come through and cleanse it. That would be really annoying. Not to mention, if somebody decides to prank you by closing your home portal, the portal that's at your home or city or town, you're stuck wherever you are right now. Hey, definitely a good one though, and if you hide the portals enough, maybe that could be pretty good. I mean, people will eventually start to see the portal's auras, but hey, you also had a shred, I guess, for self-defense. I'm going to give Demogorgons a 4 out of 5. It's definitely good. Almost every single teleportation power is good in some way, except Nurse. Oni's is actually a lot better than you think. Think about it. Somebody just needs to be injured. In Dead by Daylight, yeah, that usually means getting sliced with a sword or knife. But in real life, there's a lot smaller injuries. If we assume that you just have to be bleeding, you don't even have to be bleeding, actually, because no mither gives you blood orbs, and no mither people don't bleed passively. Anybody with a paper cut, smashed thumb, or any small injury, or even major injury, will give you blood orbs. Sure, you have to run around with a Kanabo in order to get use out of the speed, but hey, I think that's well worth it. It'd be a Kanabo proportional to your size, maybe. I don't know. Just don't hit people with it, and even if you do gotta hit people with it, again, that's also self-defense. So I'm gonna give Oni a 4 out of 5. It'd get annoying probably seeing all the blood orbs, but hey, maybe you'd get used to it. In America, we have guns that shoot bullets. Those win against spear guns, which is why Deathslinger isn't that good. Also, who do you need to hurt with this? 1 out of 5. Executioner. Still part of the CIA. Oh, FBI this time? 1 out of 5. Blight. This would be great, but you kind of become an addict, is what you would think. Remember how I said you don't become a ghoul with Kaneki's power or a ghost of spirits? You'd still be a regular human. An addict is something you could become. Blight is addicted to blighted serum. Therefore, you won't become an addict. And you also won't become a blighted monstrosity either. So, hey, this one's great. Except I'm going to give it a 0 out of 5 because I hate needles more than anything on earth. I hate them. And the idea of injecting myself over and over again makes me want to cry. I hate it. Twins. I guess only children get to get the sibling they always probably didn't want. 0 out of 5. Trickster. You could do what Ji-woon did in his lore and use them for knife tricks, I guess, but translating literally means you can throw them fast. And of course, self-defense. Similar to Huntress. 2 out of 5. Nemesis. Only if you have certain types of the video that you need put on the internet. 1 out of 5. The joke is Cenobite. This one's the exact opposite of Freddy. Instead of everybody having much more free time now that they get their 8 hours of sleep always and passively, they now have to take time out of their day to solve lament configuration. One person will have to. I mean, one person's probably going to end up doing it, but still, think about what if the lament configuration suddenly spawns on a deserted island, like Snake Island? You know, that island in the world that has all of the world's most deadly snakes. Who's going to go want to solve that now? Now everybody has a bunch of chains poking through them. This is probably the worst one to take into real life with you, and you should only do it if you are like the Cenobites and want to spread pain. 0 out of 5. Artist. Unfortunately, the power does not turn you into a tall woman. 1 out of 5. Unreal. You can teleport to 7 random TVs somewhere in the world. Or maybe all TVs. I mean, for Freddy, as I said, you can teleport to all generators. So, maybe all TVs for Unreal? Who knows? So, we're gonna say 7 TVs. You can also demanifest now, and you can't be hurt at all. This is great to get to some vacation spots, or if you just need to go for a walk. And seriously, the demanifestation, that basically means you can't be killed if you just demanifest. If you're in a dangerous situation, just demanifest, and you can't get hurt. You can still interact with physical objects. Sadako interacts with the floor. She can't go through walls still, so you could do something like drive your car and never be at risk of dying in a car crash. This one is definitely a 5 out of 5. One of the best. Dredge. Just like for Cenobite, the Nightfall sucks for everyone else. It's going to mess things up for everyone else on Earth except you. The teleport is nice, but again, Nightfall sucks. Like, seriously, Nightfall just sucks. Especially for little kids who are scared of the dark. You could teleport to lockers, though, I guess. So, you could be a creep with this, I guess. You know what? I had this as 1 out of 5. This is going to 0 out of 5. Mastermind. Are you racist? 1 out of 5. Knight. Unfortunate that the guards are limited in what they can do, and if they spot anyone else, they'll start to chase them. This just seems like a great way to get arrested. If you only use them at home, maybe? But the guards are so limited in what they can do, so 1 out of 5. Scully. This one will definitely get you arrested. Most people don't pull out human skulls from their pockets. Especially not ones that are welded to drones. 1 out of 5. Singularity is a weird one to talk about in this case. Like, Yeah, you technically have a teleport, but it can be disabled with EMPs, and it requires other people to have a gross little flesh butt on them. So I don't think anyone's really going to want that. I guess if you get your friends around, you can teleport to them for convenience. But if you absentmindedly leave your friend slipstreamed, and you go to a convention or public or something, everybody's gonna have a bad time. The slipstream itself is not even that bad. You can go through and live your life, but it's just gross to have a flesh pod behind you. 1 out of 5. Xenomorph, good one. You can go to theoretically anywhere in the world with the tunnels, depending on where they spawn. What sucks is that people are just gonna put flame turrets around. You also have to go in crawling on all fours from time to time. You are forced to crawl on all fours. So this is going to be a 2 out of 5. If you're into crawling on all fours, yeah, go ahead. Tunnels. The only way to get out of crawling on all fours is to pick someone else up or get burnt. And you're not a xenomorph, so those flame turrets are going to hurt. I'm downgrading this to a 0 out of 5, actually. Chucky. Does this one let you live in the third person? Wait, that would actually suck. And Heidi Ho, what do you need stealth for? So many other powers have better stealth. The slice and dice? Dude, you can run at people with knives already. Definitely 0 out of 5. Unknown. I've thought about this one a lot as an unknown main, and I have to say this one kind of is meh. You could use the hallucinations around your house maybe, but unfortunately, since we're translating these powers literally, in order to stop the hallucinations from spawning when you don't want to, you'd have to sit around either apparently lockers, people on hooks, generators. How many generators do you see in real life anyway? I know I said that Freddy's would be good for like mobility around the world, but that's because I'm assuming there's more generators around. You don't have generators nearby you, probably. Maybe you could buy one, but still. It's just kind of meh. It's also kind of gross. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5, unfortunately. Vecna. Why would you need this other than for Fly? 2 out of 5, though, for Fly. Dracula. It's pretty good just for the bat form, but you're going to be loud as hell on bat form. And people might freak out, so 3 out of 5. Houndmaster. It's kind of okay. You can point at an area and walk there faster, which would be nice. It's cool until the dog dies. 3 out of 5. Ghoul. I don't want to eat people. 3 out of 5 though, just for the non-enraged. Like, having the Kagune is pretty cool. Springtrap. The doors are random, and you can move slightly faster after you throw the axe. So you'll have some random place you can go on Earth. And, 7 of them. 7 random places you can go on Earth. And people will be able to see you with the cameras. So if one's in your home, unfortunately, everybody on Earth is going to see what you're doing in your home. I guess you could move. I do think it'd be funny if you're like a track runner and you're about to run a race and you're like, oh, hold on, I forgot. And then you just materialize this axe and throw it straight into the ground, like beside you. And you're like, all right, I'm ready to run now. Because you're going to move slower if you don't. Anyway, 3 out of 5. Krisu. Why would you want this? The speed? Other powers do that better. Just learn to do wind sprints or something. 1 out of 5. And with that, that's every single killer power done. Yeah. This video is definitely longer than a lot of other videos I've made. But I thank you all for sticking with it and sticking to the end. I'm going to try to make some more videos over winter break. So, yeah, hopefully there's more of those. I should be live tonight around 7 p.m. twitch.tv/how_about_maybe if y'all want to join in. And yeah, thank you all for watching, as always. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. On the 12th day of Christmas, how about maybe gave to me 12 trans wraiths, 11 UVX shots, 10 DVD streams, 9 unhinged tangents, 8 YouTube videos, 7 lost chases, 6 tick attacks, 5 pop gens, 4 Slug Survivors, 3 gifted subs, 2 gold games, and a sable on the basement tree. Happy holidays, everybody. Steve, you're in the video, for the record.